Our lives as humans are intricately intertwined with those of animals, whether it's through our pets in our homes, or through watching bugs and other critters in our backyard, or simply through watching nature documentaries on TV. Have you ever wondered how animals think? Well, I wondered that. I decided to make it my life's work to find out. So here at the university, we study the behavior of a wide range of species, some of which are relatively sophisticated in their cognition and some which have somewhat smaller brains. So for instance, I myself work with homing pigeons. I also study animals in the wild, so I've worked with wild chimpanzees and wild baboons. Our research on animal cognition tends to focus on collective aspects of cognition. So we look at things like how groups of animals make decisions together, how they resolve conflict that arises in the context of those collective decisions being made, where different individuals might have different preferences about what they want. We also look at how leadership emerges in these groups of animals, what kind of individual traits can be helpful to promote an individual to rise in the ranks. So the way we study navigation in homing pigeons is really very simple. When they're released, they have one thing on their mind and one thing only, which is to get home. So they don't tend to stop for food, they don't tend to explore the environment, they have this kind of single-minded focus of having to get home as quickly as possible. And that's actually really useful for us because it allows them to take the entirety of their homing route and analyze it in terms of the cognitive mechanisms that allow them to compute that route, right? We know this, the quality of the route, the homing route that they produce, is a reflection of spatial cognitive computational capacities that these birds have, which then in turn allowed them to get home. Living in groups allows you to use not just information that you yourself have collected, but information that others in the group, in your group, have. One of the things that we've found is that a flock is more accurate at finding a good route back to a particular destination than individual birds or solo birds are. And that's really the power of collective intelligence. And what's interesting is that a lot of animal collectives, a lot of animal groups have mechanisms in place that allow them to make these kinds of group decisions, whether it's through the averaging of individual opinions or through taking the majority preference, through some form of voting system. Animal cognition can also help us to do better as a society when it comes to animal welfare. Because understanding what makes an animal happy, what is it that makes it sad, what is it that an animal doesn't like, what causes it distress, can really inform the ways in which we treat them. So people often ask, will I ever know what my dog is thinking? And I think it's a great question, but I also think that most people are kind of already there anyway, right? So most of the time we already know things like, okay, my dog is hungry, or my dog is, wanting to be petted. Almost certainly there are deeper thoughts going on in the minds of these animals that we currently may not have access to, and which we are working on getting access to, but I think for now, they must remain open questions. So studying animal cognition can have implications for ourselves as humans and for our human societies. And through understanding these things, I think we will gain a much better understanding of ourselves and our place within the world.